Hey, this is the Daily Overpass. My name is Eric and I make apps. Now today let's ask, when can we start ignoring Apple? Okay, sometimes when I'm doing these videos, you see me read comments and stuff on my phone. Like most app developers, I have lots of phones around. We got about 8 or 10 of them here in the office. We've got a couple of iPhones, a couple iPads, and a bunch of Android phones. But we usually have one day-to-day phone. And for the longest time, my day-to-day phone has been an Android because I love the Android platform. That's what I would be using if I didn't have to use anything else. But right now I'm using an iPhone 8 and it was up until early this year where I always use the Google stock phone, so I had a Nexus 6P, which after about 2 years it just started to die of old age, where the battery was starting to go dead. You know, I took it someplace, got the battery replaced, and then other things started to fail on it. It's almost like old age for phones. It's like 2 years. So anyway, so I had my sights set on the new Google Pixel 2, right? But I started realizing that my other iPhone test phone, which is an iPhone 5C, would not upgrade to iOS 11 anymore. Now, I mentioned this before. A lot of the times you could do a lot of things on the simulators on the Mac. So you can do all your iPhone stuff and definitely all your screenshots and everything for all the different platforms. You use that kind of stuff, but sometimes you just need to have the physical device. Like we have a lot of clients that have devices that need to communicate via Wi-Fi or via Bluetooth, or even just testing out push notifications. It's good to have that test device that actually works. So as much as it pained me when it came time to get a new phone, I thought I just can't do it anymore. I need a new phone, and I went and got the new, well, I guess the iPhone 8, so it's pretty soon not going to be that new. But so I went and got the iPhone 8, and I'm still getting used to it. And it's a really nice, about Apple, I always say about Apple, they have such good hardware. It's the software I'm not quite sure about. I guess I'm not really an Apple fanboy. But as karma would have it, not only did I buy an iPhone this year, it got stolen in Hanoi, so I bought a second iPhone. I had to buy it again. And I'm still working out the insurance and stuff like that. So anyway, so I mentioned yesterday that I did a video about the ionic framework, and I wasn't so much talking about the ionic framework as being bad. I was saying that was the App Store that I had the most problem with like the fact that what if they stopped accepting those kind of apps in the App Store, because they just seem, to me the App Store seems to be temperamental. So much of the problems I have on a day-to-day basis have to do with Apple permissions. And a lot of people are saying, so I've been getting a lot of comments lately, some people saying you should just go with PWA, and I still don't think PWA is ready, personally, because I talk to clients all the time. When they call up, they want to do an app, and I try to go the PWA route, and nobody ever knows what I'm talking about. And even if I try to explain it, it sounds like they're getting something. To me, I think they think that it sounds as if I'm trying to sell them something less than what they want, which is not true, but that's the way they perceive it. Like I'm trying to give them an app light, which is just as good. Like when my mom, or like when my parents used to buy me JCPenney jeans and tell me they're just as good as Levi's. I feel like I'm making that kind of like argument to them. So they're kind of like, don't really believe it. But the other argument I see in the comments a lot is, why did just focus on Android because Apple sucks. It's Android's 85% market share or something like that now. Why don't you just focus on Android and forget Apple altogether? And up until a couple years ago, I would have just shrugged that off because I think that's a ridiculous thing. A lot of the money that I make comes from Apple. Most of it comes from Google. But now it's starting to sound a little bit more compelling. Apple is becoming, to me, it's such a pain. If we didn't have client work to do, and the clients, a lot of them, they want to be available to as many customers as possible. And a lot of that market share is different in different locations. So, in the US, I'm not sure what the exact figures are. If anybody knows, if you want to post something there in the comments, that'd be great. But like, I know lots of people personally who have iPhones. I know when I released my first app, it was on Android only, and I started telling people about it, and they would get out their iPhones and start saying, oh, how can I download it? And he's like, oh, it's Android only. But, so, so for people out there who focus on Android only, up until about a year ago, I would have said, yeah, you know, you really should go into the App Store. You need to invest in a Mac. You need to do all this kind of, learn a little bit of Objective-C or use a cross-platform framework to distribute them. But now it's starting to look a little bit more compelling. And PWAs are definitely compelling, but it's just getting people to use them. I mean, for me, it's been a really hard sell, and maybe it's just the way I'm delivering it. But anyway, what do you guys think? Is it right to start ignoring iPhone now, right? Is it right to just focus on Android completely? For me, I'm still getting about 30% of my revenue from iPhone, so I wouldn't do that. But I'm hoping we get to the point where we can just start treating Apple the way that we started treating Windows Phone back in the early days. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. That's it for today. I'll talk to you tomorrow.